Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to replace a windshield washer fluid pump on a E90 series BMW, the one you see over there. And this process is the same whether you have an E90, E91, 2 or 3. And I've actually had to replace this pump 3 times so far, since this is a pretty common problem issue on a BMW, which you probably know about if you had your BMW long enough. And the first 2 times that I had to replace the pump, I replaced it with a pump that I got from Amazon for about $12 or so. And they do work, they just don't last as long. They last me about 2-3 years tops, and then they just stop working. So this time I decided to go with the OEM product, which I got from fspeuro.com. And this pump was maybe about $60 or so. And hopefully it lasts longer than 3 years, so yes, we'll see. But in this video I'm going to show you how to replace a windshield washer fluid pump yourself without paying a mechanic, since this is a pretty easy job to do, very easy to do, and pretty doesn't take much time at all. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe. And since I have more videos coming up on the BMW of some of the common issues that I haven't seen many videos about on YouTube, and also some updates on the old girl, the Volkswagen Beetle. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you also having the same issues with the pump as I have. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to jack the car up on this side. And the reason why I had the car on this 2x4, just to give it a little more clearance for the jack to get underneath. Since this jack here, it's not low profile, it doesn't actually go low enough for it to go underneath this car, so I have to improvise a little bit. So now we're going to find a jacking point, which should be right here. Then in the meantime, I'm going to remove these lug nuts here, and let's see, this is 17. Usually I do this with a breaker bar and a socket, but I recently got this impact wrench and it works really well. This is the Ryobi 1/2 inch impact, and we're gonna go. Okay, so we have one lug nut in there just to hold the wheel in place while I jack the car up a little more. And so raise it up until the wheel is off of that board. Time to remove this wheel. There we go. And then for safety, I'm going to put this wheel underneath the car right here. Just in case the jack fails. Just in case if this fails, we have something to hold the car up. If you want, you can put jack stands as well as an extra safety, which I would recommend. So once you have the wheel removed, we're going to remove this panel right here on this side of the wheel, on the left side of the wheel here. Since the windshield washer pump is right here, like I mentioned, right behind this fender. And to do this job, we're only going to need simple tools, basically an 8mm and 10mm socket and a T30 Torx screw. So first we're going to, I believe it's an 8mm, as I can remember, is removing these two screws up here. And we're just gonna go ahead and undo this. Like this. And then the other one is right here. Also an 8mm. There we go. I'm going to set this right here for now. And then there's one here, and this one's actually 10mm. So we're going to swap out the socket and put a 10mm. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Set it down here. And then we're gonna go around and remove any of these screws or nuts. And I believe there's one here, which is also 10mm. This is like a rubber nut that kind of goes on top of this screw, which I'll show you. So this is what it looks like. And it just goes on top of here. I'm gonna set this aside, and then we'll come over here, and this is an 8mm, so we're gonna go ahead and swap the sockets again. To make this faster, you can just remove all the 8mm at once and then come back and take the 10mm off if you want to do it that way. But I like to do them in order, just so I don't miss any of the screws. Here, and then there's one here. Set this aside, and so there's also should be some on the bottom, which I'll show you in a moment. So there's one right here. It's also 8mm, I believe. I'll come up here. And we actually may not need to remove this one, but we do need to remove this one right here, which is like T30, I believe. And I have one of those here, I believe. So I have here T30, which I think is the right size. Nope. Need to be a little bigger. Let's try this one. And when you tighten these plastic screws or nuts, just make sure not to over tighten them, since they can strip and then they won't work as well. And then I think we need to also remove the 80mm. And there's also one here, which I think is a 10mm right here underneath this. And this one is also, I believe, a plastic nut right here. There we go. So now we can go ahead and remove this piece. What you want to make sure is to kind of just unhook it from this screw. Now it's already loose, and just kind of wiggle it out of place, and it should come up. There we go. And there it is. I'm going to set this aside right there. And now we have here access to the windshield washer tank. And this right here is the windshield washer pump, which I'll show you in a moment, for the windshield washer. Sorry, this one's right here is for the headlight washers pump, and this one right here, which you'll see in a moment, is for the windshield washer pump. So we need to actually pull this tank out, so that way we can get access to the pumps, which are on this side of the tank. And to do that, first what we're going to do is remove this screw here, which kind of holds this tank in place, and that's a 10mm. And we're gonna come over here and just undo it, like so. And we'll set this on this side over here, just to separate the screws and nuts for the panel, and this one right here is just for the tank itself. And before we pull this out, we need to unhook this hose right here, just to give us a little bit of more slack. There we go. See, it already started to come out. And I'm gonna pull it out, like so. So I already have a new pump here, which I've replaced. I took the other one out, but when I was making this video, my camera stopped working, so I'm now showing it to you again. Basically, show you every step of the process, just so you're not confused, and I want to make sure you guys do this correctly. And so what you need to do, so you need to see this connector right here, the electrical connector, the wire. So this one here has a little tab here. You can push towards you and then just lift it up and remove this electrical component first. But to get better access to it, you can just kind of move this pump this way, just so you have better access to this tab. And you can just lift this up. I'm doing this with one hand. So once you have this connector removed, all you have to do now is maybe take like a screwdriver and just pry it up. You can just, maybe you don't even have to do that, you can just lift it up from here. Maybe I need to use a screwdriver. Just kind of pry it up. See, it's already coming out. And you can just remove this, you can remove this hose and put a new one in, and then put it back again like so. So put this inside. So all the fluid is out. So you just remove this hose here, you just pull it out, put a new one in, and then you just put this thing back in there like so. Like that. Make sure it's seated well. And then you can put this clip on top like that, and that's it. It's very simple. And now the next thing is to put everything back how it was. Okay, so now let's put everything back together. So as you remember, we're just now going to work backwards. We're going to slide this tank inside like that. Make sure it's in there. Like that. And then we're going to take the screw here and put this thing back in there like so. I'm just going to kind of hand tighten it for now. Just make sure everything's seated correctly. Okay. And the next thing is to put this hose back in its clip. Like that. And now we're going to tighten the screw here. And the next part is to put this wheel cover back on there. Just gonna position it first, and to hold it in place while you put all the screws back in, you can just come over here and hook it to this little stud. Like that, and it'll hold it in place. Now the next thing is to put the screws back in there. So now we're going to put the 8mm screw here. So now all we have to do is put back the wheel, lower the car, and if you haven't already tested the windshield washer pump, you can do that now. I actually recommend doing that as soon as you connect the new pump to the tank before putting everything back together. That's actually what I've done, but I'm now doing this video again just because I missed filming that small section of the video on how to replace the pump, which is a very easy thing to do, but I just want to make sure I had it in the video. Okay, so let's now go ahead and put the wheel back on. Okay, so now we are done. All I have to do now is put the wheel back on, and that's it. Now the windshield washer fluid pump is working. We can clean our windows, and we'll be good. I like to put my foot underneath the wheel and just lift it with my foot until it's oops. Okay, now we're gonna put in one nut. So before I forget, the reason why that halo light is not working, so basically, once you remove this cover, you'll see that I already tried to fix it once. Let's see. Let's pop this off. Okay. So as you see here, these wires, some lights. See, I already tried to see these wires. They're naked, and I tried to fix it by putting some electrical tape around them, and it looks like the coating on the wires just became brittle from heat, and it just kind of fell apart. So what I need to do is basically try to use the shrink tubing for the wires. Basically slide those tubes over those wires and then shrink them with heat, and hopefully that will fix the problem. And I'm gonna make a separate video on this, how I do this, if you have this problem as well. And I found out this is kind of a common problem with these cars. Some of these wires tend to sort of break apart or fall apart with age and from heat. So I'll show you how I try to fix this as well. But again, I hope you guys like this video in regards to replacing the windshield washer fluid pump. And leave a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more of the DIY videos and the updates on my 1971 Volkswagen Beetle, which is now sleeping under the cover. And hopefully in the next couple of days I get to upload some more videos on it that I already have edited. And I need to do some more things on the Beetle. For example, replacing the bushings on the front suspension, since it kind of has a little wobble, and these are the bushings that I got. So I'm also going to do a video on this as well. So hope you guys have a good day, enjoying this nice weather. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, bye.